Hi, I'm Bob Buesing. It's my honor to be a candidate for the Florida State Senate, District 18. I've been a lawyer in Tampa for 39 years, but my interest in running for this race comes from my community work. I've been involved with the YMCA. I've been chairman of the Y for 3 years. I'm on the statewide YMCA board. I'm on the Early Learning Coalition board. I've been involved with healthcare issues, with environmental issues, and with financial literacy issues. I've devoted my nonprofit volunteer work to improving my community. In these roles, over and over, I've been going to Tallahassee to try to get one issue or another issue resolved. And I kept getting a very polite response, but nothing would change. We still have 60,000 kids on the waiting list for early learning services. We do not have financial literacy training in the schools. We've not accepted the Medicaid expansion money so we can get people on health care. So I finally reached the conclusion, after speaking with Betty Castor, Kathy Castor, Jim Davis, and Alex Sink, all of whom have enthusiastically endorsed my campaign, to run for this office as a community member who's devoting himself to improving the community. Let's talk about three specific issues. First of all, the environment. I'm deeply concerned about my opponent's positions on the environment. This is the Sunshine State, yet Florida is way behind in the transition to renewable energy, particularly solar power. And one reason for that is my opponent's been part of a group that won't let other people have solar energy that they can sell to their neighbors. She wants only the utilities to have that control, and that's wrong. She's also in favor of fracking. She has voted in favor of fracking bills. That's very dangerous here in Florida. We have sinkholes, we have limestone, it's very porous. This is a terrible place for fracking. And as part of that bill, she voted to prohibit local governments, including our county commission, from banning fracking. And she voted to allow fracking companies to not disclose the chemicals that they're using and putting into the groundwater system. That's wrong. With respect to health care, I'm a strong advocate for accepting the Medicaid expansion dollars. Those Medicaid expansion dollars are our dollars. We've sent them to Washington, D.C., but they're not coming back. That's a self-inflicted wound on our state, costing us billions of dollars. It's costing $2 billion right here in Hillsborough County over 5 years. That'll create high-quality jobs. The chambers of commerce are in favor of it. Why we're not doing it in Tallahassee, there's no good reason other than partisan politics, and that's no way to run the state of Florida. I also believe in women's access to health care. And my opponent's been putting every roadblock in the way of women's access to health care. I will be a strong advocate for health care, and I've been endorsed by organizations that promote that. Finally, on education. I've been deeply engaged in the early education idea. By helping kids be successful 0 to 5, we save lots of tax dollars down the road. Because if kids show up ready to learn at kindergarten, what you end up with is success later in life. Unfortunately, here in Florida, we've done a terrible job of our early learning 0 to 5 space. We have kids on the waiting list, we're underpaying the providers, and it's not being handled in a professional, appropriate way. I'll be a strong advocate for early learning. And I'm also a strong advocate for kids learning what they need to know to be successful, whether it's specific career skills. Right now in Florida, we have about 250,000 open jobs because our kids don't have those skills. Or if it's just simply telling them about financial literacy so they can be successful in life. So I'm here to help my community be successful. I hope you'll consider voting for me. I'm Bob Buesing. Please go up on Buesing, B-U-E-S-I-N-G, for Senate.com to learn more about my race, and I really appreciate your consideration and your vote. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joe Redner, and I'm running for the State Senate, District 18. As you know, tourism is the biggest industry in the state of Florida. Not only do the tourists spend money in our businesses and small businesses, large businesses, but they also pay sales tax. That the tourist industry takes that load off of us paying sales tax is the reason we don't have to pay income tax in the state of Florida. Our tourist industry is being assailed. It's being assailed by what's going on in Lake Okeechobee, what's going on in the environment, what's going on our shores, killing fish, blue algae everywhere, poison, you can't go in the water. And what are they doing about it? They're doing nothing. Lake Okeechobee is a big cesspool. It's like a toilet. They flush the toilet and the nutrients and everything and the poison and the blue algae runs to the shores, runs to the East Coast runs to the South Coast, the West Coast, and is polluting everything. Tourists are seeing this all over the world. We also have sewage coming up in Tampa's Bay. This is being broadcast everywhere in the world also. The newspapers or papers are running stories. They're even showing the crap coming out of our water. It's time we did something about it, but they can't do anything about it because Big Sugar, let me give you an example. Big Sugar took my opponent on a helicopter ride over Lake Okeechobee. These are the people that took her that have an interest in polluting Lake Okeechobee. When they got finished with that helicopter ride, they started giving my opponent thousands and thousands of dollars. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Big checks to her PACs, and it is why we can't get anything done. Why can't the state do something about the sewage problem in St. Pete and in our Bay? It's time they did something. How about our education system where we are spending, giving hundreds of millions of dollars to private industry to test our students, tests that aren't needed. The people that own the testing companies, the private people, have ties to our legislators, to our governor, and to people in the cabinet or people that they owe favors to. We'll never get anything done in the state of Florida as long as we have all this money going to these large, from these large corporations and these special interests to the legislators. If I am elected, I will try and pass one of the strictest campaign finance laws in the country. Living wage. You know, I hear people say that if you pay a living wage, that it's going to cost jobs. You have people making $8 to $10 an hour in service jobs. They have to work 2 jobs. If they were paid $15 an hour, they could quit one of those jobs and that would open jobs for other people. I would be ashamed to pay somebody under $15 an hour in a business that I owned if I could afford to pay them more. I want to go to Tallahassee to protect you and to protect me. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Sheldon Upthegrove, candidate for Florida State Senate District 18, and I'm here to talk to you today about why you need to vote independent. The independent parties of Florida have been around since, well, not too long actually, not as long as the Republicans or the Democrats, but they're still here, and they're very, very important. I'm here to tell you this because in this race for District 18, I'm opposed by 2 candidates, Bob Buesing for the Democrats, Dana Young for the Republicans. Collectively, these 2 candidates have raised over $900,000 to secure your vote. Now, would anyone like to tell me why $900,000 needs to be spent on a race for a position that pays less than what I currently make as a United States Air Force Staff Sergeant? You got me. Can't be about the money, right? So how then are these people going to fight for you? Are they going to fix your medical insurance? Probably not, because either one of their parties won't be able to come to any sort of an agreement. There has to be someone to break any sort of hold that they have. You've got to be able to step outside of that box. You've got to be able to break the hold that the Republicans and the Democrats have when they come to a deadlock. That's what independents are for. They're going to help your traffic problems? Well, it depends on how much money is being thrown to either one of their parties. Me, I work for you. I work for the people. All I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to find the best solution with the smartest brains in the business. What about education? There's been a lot of talk about education lately. Common Core making its way into the state of Florida. Is that the best thing for us? Probably not. But if you elect a party member, they're only going to be able to take a party line. They're not going to be able to take a real hard look at what's affecting our schools today. And besides, what would two millionaires be able to do anyways? Their kids went to private school. My kids, they go to Tinker Elementary. It's a public school. So I care about what our education does for them in the future. Thank you. My name is Sheldon Upthegrove, candidate for Florida State Senate, District 18.
Hi, my name is Jose Vasquez, and I'm here because I'm running for state representative for District 58. District 58 is a big area of Hillsborough County. My district have two cities, the city of Tampa Terrace and the city of Plant City. Inside of my district, you can find places like the Lake Okeechobee, who's the biggest one on Hillsborough County. Also, I can find big portion of the I-4 corridor. I have to share all this with you for you have a knowledge how big is my district. Now, when we're talking about how I can help my community, I can tell you this. I'm Hispanic. I understand the multicultural people who live inside my district. I can give you a sample. The city of Tampa Terrace got inconvenience on how to redevelopment downtown area, and I can give you knowledge how I can help the community to achieve their goals to reduce his debts. Also, the city of Plant City got a different goals on take care downtown development, and I can bring my community's ideas for we can achieve that goals. We know the state of Florida got so many inconvenience. We got so many inconvenience because this is part of the wrong legislation. This is not a problem who show up today, and this is a problem who go to affect us tomorrow. That's the reason I'm here. I want to bring my public experience. I wanted to convince the community for they can deposit the trust in a person look like them. One of my big issues is the situation we got with the transportation. We know the problem we're facing on Tampa. We know the problem we got with the homeless population. We know the economic problems we got and the economic development. We know the problem we got right now is with the ecological system and our water sources. So please, I want you to remember my name. My name is Jose Vasquez. I'm running for state representative because I want to create a balance with multicultural talents to benefit our community. One more time, thank you so much for your time. God bless you and have a good day.
My name is Rena Frazier, and I'm running to be the state representative for District 59. That's the Brandon, Valrico, Riverview area. I was born and raised right here in Hillsborough County. I graduated from Hillsborough High School, home of the Terriers, and then I went on to University of South Florida, where I earned a degree in environmental engineering. I later went to Stetson College of Law, where I earned my law degree, and now I do real estate law for a firm called Quarles and Brady. My husband, Andrew, and I have 4 girls, and we're raising our family in Brandon. My oldest is serving our country as a cadet in the United States Air Force Academy. But that's not why I'm talking to you today. I'm talking to you because families across Hillsborough County are having to have some tough conversations right now on all different levels, whether it pertains to education or healthcare or good paying jobs. And they're looking for solutions. Well, that starts with education. As a mom, I believe that we need to fully fund our education system. It is 2016, and unfortunately, it is still the case that the neighborhood our children grow up in is dictating the quality of the education that they receive. I also believe that we need to increase teacher pay and make sure that our teachers are getting the resources that they need. We place the responsibility on our teachers to prepare our future generation of doctors, electricians, engineers, lawyers, teachers. Yet too many of our teachers are having to pay thousands of dollars out of their own pockets for classroom supplies, and they're having to take second jobs just to make ends meet. But we can't stop there, because our children can't focus on school if they don't have clean air and clean water. As someone with a background in environmental engineering, I understand the environmental issues that our community faces, and I will fight for good legislative policy and environmental policy in the legislature. We need representatives who understand and will prioritize our local issues. Simple things, like prioritizing transportation so that traffic isn't so bad. We begin to solve these issues when we put the voices of our community first. Too often in Tallahassee, the influence of special interest and lobbyists are drowning out the voices of our children, of our families, of our veterans. I live and work in this community, and I listen. And like you, my family values ensuring that our community is one in which our children want to stay because of the opportunities that we create. That's why we've invested in our community. My husband has a small business here. I was on the board of trustees of Brandon Regional Hospital as a community representative. I've provided pro bono legal services to our neighbors who didn't have access to legal representation. I will continue to invest in our community, and I will carry the voices of our community to Tallahassee as your state representative. My name is Rena Frazier, and I would be honored to be elected as your state representative from District 59 on November 8th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Montelione. I'm a Tampa City Council member and a candidate for the state legislature in House District 63. First, I want to thank Tampa Bay Community Network for inviting me here today in the studio in the heart of North Tampa. I think that having a transparent and communicative elected official is essential to having a representative democracy. So thank you for watching. Thank you for inviting me here. And I want to speak to you a little bit about why I'm running for the State House of Representatives. I've been an elected official, I've been a community activist, I've worked on both sides of the dais. I was an employee with Hillsborough County, and I've worked in small and large businesses. And I think that gives me a very unique perspective and outlook on how government should operate and how elected officials should listen to their constituents. I believe that an open dialogue between your state legislature and your community is very important. You know, I can relate to a lot of our community, individuals in the community, because I've had the struggles that a lot of people have had. And I think that we have a state legislature today that does not. I really would like to bring your voice to the state legislature. I want to work on having a protection in place for our waterways, for our aquifer, and for the beautiful environment that we have by working to ban fracking in Florida. I want to represent the women of our district by supporting legislation on equal pay for women and for a decision on our own health care and our own bodies. I don't think the legislature has any place in making those decisions for us. I'm a Democrat that will work with the Republicans on supporting the disruptive technologies and the innovative technology companies like Uber and Lyft to operate legally in Hillsborough County. I think that our public education system should serve all of our children, no matter what their background. Hillsborough County, this district in particular in Hillsborough County, is the third largest employment center in Hillsborough County. And I believe our children should be able and ready to work right here at home. We have a transportation system that does not work for us. And I would like to continue my work on transportation issues and trying to find solutions to our problems in this area. I want to thank you for being a concerned citizen, for watching and listening to why I think that I would be your voice in Tallahassee. So once again, thank you to TBCN, and thank you for being a concerned citizen and an informed voter.